Hey Scapers, and welcome back for another edition of Worst Hackers and Scammers of All Time. MageBit here with you as always, and this one was submitted to me possibly by the creator themselves. Not 110% sure about that, but someone brought this to my attention and they were like, yeah, you should totally check this out, or I believe it was along the lines of, I hope my videos don't show up on there, and then we kind of had a conversation, and they gave me permission to review, quote-unquote, their videos. And I'm going to do that. We're going to start by going into two of their videos we have here. So there's the rare 07, the RuneScape 07 rare bot, as well as the new RuneScape 07 bot, undetectable, flawless, and free. First of all, I want to say I have my air conditioner running right now. I apologize for that, and I'm sorry if there's a slight hum in the background. It's like 90 degrees and 1,000,000% humidity, and I can't live with it off at the moment, so I do apologize for that. Hopefully it doesn't affect the quality of the video too much there, and if it does, I will just, next time we make a video, I will make sure that, you know, I will just have to turn it off and suffer, but I'm gonna give it a shot, and hopefully it doesn't pick up too much here. So these are two videos here that from the same author here, which I guess is going by the name Burger King. He is the king of burgers, and we're going to start with the first one here. I think we're doing this in order of age. So this was posted in 2013. Were they both published in 2013? They were both published in 2013. Really? Bear with me here. Sorry about that. Getting Google Voice calls in. Of course, nobody's called me today. The second I go to record a video. Oh, cool. Let's just call me. Great. Love it. Anyway, let me go ahead and move along here, shall I? So, the first video here, I've had to mute both of these, as you can see here, because they all contain copyrighted music, and I can't have that. So, I have gone ahead, and I'm going to provide my own soundtrack, just kind of a little music bed to put in the background so it's not dead air while I'm talking about it. There'll be a little bit of, you know, noise in the background. Of course, I will do my best to commentate on these, but these are mostly text, no commentary, but when we're going to get to some really interesting stuff eventually, so let's just sit through the introduction, shall we? We have to give them their 15 minutes of shame. So let me just start up some music here, and let's bring this into full screen. So this is the Rare Hunter AIO, and it will find scythes, party hats, Halloween masks, Santa hats, yes, full screen, all that fun stuff. This is old school RuneScape, so keep that in mind. All those things are quote-unquote rare, but, you know, they got dropped in mass, or they're not crazy rare or anything like that. But as you can see here, he has this little kind of like overlay that happens here. Looks like it's got like a kind of a color finding system. I'm not 100% sure, but it's got like a coordinate based thing that looks like it may be color based. Not 100% sure again. Then it's got some injection going on here with or what looks like injection. It very well could just be part of the video editing for all we know, with some nice transparency going on. So right now this thing is hunting for a mask. World hop is set. It's been running for 1 minute and 31 seconds. It's done 2 world hops so far, and found 0 rares. So let's continue on here and see exactly what happens. I'm going to try and skip ahead a few seconds here so we can get past the login timer. And we'll keep going here. So alright, so it logs in, and it is able to get past that screen, it looks like. Now, that reticule there that is moving around like that, that is a common use reticule that you can get for your mouse. Like, that's not anything fancy. It may look fancy to the non-privy eye, but you can download or modify your mouse to do that on systems. It's not terribly hard to do that. So, alright, let me just go ahead and skip ahead a little bit here and see how many rares this thing manages to pick up. Because people are dropping rares all the time, you know, I mean, it happens. It totally happens. You just say, screw it, I quit, party hats everywhere. So it's going to move in, and it doesn't seem to be moving like a bot would move. If you see the movements that it's making, they either look like macros or someone is literally in control of the mouse. And, I would have to guess someone's in control of the mouse, although that does look like an auto typer there. The fluency of that, either someone's really good at typing or that was an auto typer. But as you can see here, there's not a whole heck of a lot going on in this specific video. I really wish I could play the sound in the next video, because it is probably my favorite It's just so epic. So okay, here we are again. We're logged in, and then bam. So how does Rare Hunt work? I mean, it literally showed us nothing but logging in and logging out. Like, there was no accomplishments in this whatsoever. So if it was real, I mean, you could at least drop a Rare and watch the thing go over to it, even if that was simulated or fake or whatever, but come on. Anyway, so you log into your account at your desired location of where you want to hunt for rares and start the script. If you would like to look into multiple locations, select that in the GUI and leave teleports in your inventory. Download in the description. Oh, my favorite part. Downloads. So let me just, I think this is just going to run for the, yeah, okay. So we're done with this video. Let's take a look at the description, shall we? So the client download is crystalserver.com, and don't you worry, we'll get to that. And then he's got just all of these keywords going on here, which, you know, is just a thing that happens. And then, of course, he doesn't own RuneScape. That's always good to know. And let me do myself another favor here and just mute Skype so I don't get this nonsense going on while I'm trying to record. I told you, it's the curse of me. It's the curse of Magebit. I record, and then everyone wants to talk to me. Not recording? Nah, forget it. And then, as you can see here, this is just all just trying to boost himself up in the search results here. 113 views. You know, hasn't spread too much. If anything, I'm doing this guy a favor, although he does technically have more subscribers than me, which is sad, at least at the time of this recording. So that's the first video. Now you may be saying, Magebit, why aren't you making 2 videos? Well, that's going to become apparent fairly shortly. This one's a little bit shorter and a little bit different. So I like this one. It's just, am I really going to buffer? This is why I generally download things beforehand. Oh my god, what is this quality? Can we at least get 360p? Come on. So I want to read these dramatically. Let's see. Oh my god. Is this really happening? Am I really buffering? We keep developing technologies to combat bots, but it's like an arms race. We stop bots, they improve their macros. We stop them, they improve again. Andrew Gower, Jagex lead developer, which at the time of this video's creation is not true. He's a former lead developer. He hadn't been working at the company for quite a few years. Dun 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 dun. This just needs epic music in the background. It could reach a point where macro software becomes undetectable. Andrew Gower. I'm not even sure if these are actually quotes from him, but, you know, they very well might be. Undetectable. Future of botting. Human-like. Reliable. Pioneer of bots. First of its kind. Unimaginable. Oh my god, we're going in the future, guys. Oh my gosh. I can feel it already. I can feel the epicness. OFJ Cow Killer. Oh, I love the graphics. It's like, come on, man. Blur the screen out so you can't see anything at all. Like, oh, that instills some confidence in your software when you're not actually gonna. Like, you can't see. Come on, man. Like, look at the picture in front. I mean, it's perfectly in focus, and the background's completely out of focus. I can't see anything. If I can't see anything, why should I? Whatever. Why do people fall for this? OFJ Crafter. You know, I can make, you know, blurry videos too. And I think this has been a common thing in the past, is just making stuff blurry so people can't quite see, but they're slightly tantalized and interested, maybe? I don't know. And then, you know, some nice fade-ins with some glowing fonts. That's, you know, the kids like that, right? That's a thing. Or something. Alright, so it's coming to an end here. RS07 beta available. Nice. Alright, no thank you. No thank you. No thank you! Alright, let's first of all, pop over here. So I did a little examination of their site structure here for Crystal Server. At least I had one of my people do it. In order to not reveal my IP address. So I had someone else do it, and then send me the report here. So it's a very simple site structure. We're not gonna worry about any of the actual problems with the site here, even though their threat level is high. And I don't mean the threat of the website. I mean their site is not very secure. So let that be known. Like, this website's not very secure at all. So I was just looking through the directories here, and it helped me find some really interesting things, especially like in these folders. And I'm gonna show you these eventually when we get into the browser and whatnot. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to point that out, that generally when I'm dealing with a website, before I start downloading stuff from it or anything, this is the first thing I do. So if you're going to host your own website and you're going to, offer up quote-unquote botting software or anything of that kind, yeah, here you go. jQuery cross-site scripting. You have directory listing issues with your permissions, and that's pretty much it. But anyone who wants to do some XSS, this site is vulnerable to that, so let that be known. Anyway, let me move into my secure virtual machine environment here. So this is crystalserver.com here, and let me just zoom in here real quick so we can kind of get a better look. And so here we are at the home. May Madness! Every VIP bot is now free for May. That's something that that's definitely in the best business interests of the, owner if you were trying to make money off of your bot here. So let me just go ahead and we'll download the software here. And, bam. Oh, I forgot to accept the terms and conditions. I guess that doesn't really matter. So the terms and conditions button, first of all, it's just a checkbox. It doesn't actually do anything. Look at that. Got a whole 276 hits so far from freecounterstat.com. Don't use your own analytics or anything. So downloading the bot, you can also download it right up here, which is why I have a terms and conditions if you can just click it up here. Anyway, why don't we just go ahead and view the terms and conditions? Oh, I see. So terms and conditions not included. I guess that's why you can just click that box, because needs terms and conditions. This is Operation FJAGX, according to the description of the last video there. So anyway, forums. Maybe you can get it on the forums. No, can't. No. All right. There's no forums or anything of the such. So does this do it? This just downloads again. If you look at the bottom bar right there, webgl.net. Are they not even he's not even hosting webgl.net. Let me take, actually this is something I didn't even do in practice here. Or research, I should say. What is webgl.net? Alright, the 404. Let's go to the main site here. Is this just like a place where you can upload things, or? Oh, good website. Bitbucket? Okay, so it's like a shady file uploader. Cool. Gotcha. Whatever. So he's not even hosting that on this server, which is interesting. I wonder why. I wonder if that's to keep himself in the Google search results, which we'll see why in a second. Alright, so we'll get back to the website and all that stuff, but let's take a look. Actually, let's take a look at the actual bot here, shall we? So here's what did it download as Crystal Server? Okay, it's called Crystal Server. Let's go ahead and just extract this to the folder Crystal Server. Alright, awesome. Alright, so we have a nice little application here. It's got a cute little icon. Alright, I got RuneScape. I don't have old school RuneScape installed. Notice the size here, 347 kilobytes. So, I don't know about you, but to include an injection bot type software, you're going to need more than 347 kilobytes of data. Actually, I'm going to do something real quick here. Oh, wait, you know what? No, I'm not. We're gonna go balls to the wall here, and I'm just gonna show you what happens real quick. All right, so let me open up Task Manager and get everything kind of lined up here. So here's Task Manager. Let's kind of see what's going on. If anything, let's just see here. So let's open it. All right, it's requiring that. Oh, okay. It just straight up crashes. All right. So give me a minute here. It looks like it needs .NET 4.0. Which tells me this is a .NET application. Generally, your typical form applications could be Visual Basic, could be C++, any of the visual languages generally will require this. So let's just go ahead. No, I don't want to do that. We'll just download good old .NET real quick, and that'll be fun. Let's see, it shouldn't take too long to just install .NET. So anytime you don't include dependencies inside your own installer, that's kind of a red flag as far as, like, knowing what you're doing as a developer or caring about your software. So that to me just says, like, this was slapped together real quick. What's the matter? Oh, I may be a victim of counterfeiting. Of course. I'm not the scammer or hacker. You are. Yeah, I don't have money to just license all of my copies of freaking test environments, unfortunately. So, whatever. Anyway, so we're gonna just download this, install this, and I will be back once this is installed, so you guys don't have to, you know, watch this mess. And we're back. So, alright, .NET 4 is finally installed. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We don't need this any longer. Let's minimize that. Alright, let's give Crystal Server another try, shall we? Version 3.44, the best version available. Bam! Let's run this. Okay. Alright. Well then. So, my computer is quite busy at the moment. Okay, it's done. Interesting. So, as you can see here, is gone. Is when bye-byes. And, it's still running in processes here. I sneezed. It's still running in processes here. With the best description I think I've ever seen in my life. It's just it's my favorite description ever. I think the Tasmanian Devil got a hold of the description. Anyway, so yeah, it's gone. Well, is it really gone? I mean, it can't be gone if it's running. Let's open file location. Did it move? Did it move? Is it running in temp? I don't think so. So this opened up the temp folder for me here, but I don't see CrystalBot. Let's just do a quick search for CrystalBot. Crystal. No items match your search. So interesting. Interesting to know that it wants to bring up the temp folder. Well, let's just also. So it's gone, but is it gone? Let's go ahead and let's just make sure. Oh, there it is. It's not gone. It hides itself. So, and it's also the file, the initial file itself, also hides itself. Why would it need to hide itself? So not only it copies itself to memory, then it hides itself, then it copies itself to your temp folder where it executes itself. Now, I didn't do any other checks, which we can do real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and just terminate this from memory and see if it comes back on its own. I don't think it will. But I'm going to terminate it from memory because clearly what we're working with here is some sort of remote access Trojan or something on that level, maybe a bot of some sort of botnet type thingamajigger. So let's just check startup. There you go. It created its own startup entry, so every time you start your computer, it is going to launch itself and run in the background, invisible to you. So even if you delete this folder, it doesn't matter. It's hiding out in your temp directory. Most people don't clean their temp directory. And if you did, it wouldn't matter because the file would be loaded into memory. It would clear everything else except that. So there it is running. Look at it. So this is, it's a little bit of persistence going on is what that's called. We call that in the hacker world is maintaining root. So it is still running, but terminating it from memory, it doesn't seem to be persistent enough. It didn't install any services, it looks like, to persist its executable beyond being terminated by the process, which is interesting enough on its own. So, I mean, to me, it just sounds like a dumb rat that was just kind of set up cleverly. I'd be interested to hear some feedback from the creator on maybe what software they used, either publicly or privately, just because this is interesting to me. Because what I also want to show you here, why I say it's interesting to me, and we'll get back to the website. If you go to virustotal.com, which, if you're ever curious, like, if your antivirus ever doesn't work for you, and first, I have to do something here. I have to make that unhidden. I also, need my temp directory back. because I want CrystalBot. I'm also going to make this unhidden. We're going to go ahead and we're going to scan both these files with VirusTotal. If you're ever curious about a file, start with CrystalBot since that's the file that it actually created. If you're ever curious about a file and your antivirus says it's fine, but you don't believe it, maybe, VirusTotal is the way to go. All right, now let's view the last analysis because it's okay. Alrighty then. Yes, it's very bad. It's very bad. I vote this as malicious. Anyway, so 18 of 56 detected for Crystal Server version 344.exe. All right, now you notice I uploaded CrystalBot. Crystal Server version 344.exe is actually this right here, meaning they have the same SHA-256 hash. So if I did have a hash analyzer on here, which I don't, if I put these through a hash analyzer, they should both spit out the same SHA-256 code there, and VirusTotal's freaking out on me. So I don't even have to upload that other file, because now I know that they're the same. And I could go into detail on that, but come on, I don't want to bore you guys. So they're the same file. What it literally does is it makes a copy of itself to the temp directory to avoid being destroyed. So anyway, I'm not going to bother going into the registry and seeing if it does anything there as far as persistence goes, as far as like, oh, if it finds itself deleted, it will re-download itself. That seems unlikely to me, but I'm not going to go that much into detail because there's some other fun things to look at. All right, I got a little too excited there. So first off, let's go ahead and take a look at the logs. So he left, or he or she, I don't know. They left the directory is completely unprotected as far as everything goes here. So there's just some weird stuff in here that I found that doesn't really. So we have like logger recovery log 12, which there we go. Just weirded out. So we have, I don't know, just some random system here. Now you can see it's Korean, and we have an IP address right here. So if I go, I go to whatismyip.com or whatever. Just let me just look up an IP address for God's sakes. Great. Fantastic. Alright. Come on! Now I am going to censor the actual IP addresses here just because it would be unfair of me to release someone's IP address, even if they are the hacker or whatnot. So as you can see here, we're dealing with Seoul, which is in Korea. So this is a Korean-based log file for some sort of Windows machine. Why is this here? Why? Is that the same IP? I think it is. No, it's not. All right, so there's two different IPs in these logs. I don't know why this information is here. And there's more IPs. Jeez. I'm just gonna copy this whole thing here. Make my life a little easier. Oh, come on. My virtual machine is just not happy with life right now. Probably because I infected it. So this is a United States IP address. Interesting. Interesting. Huh. So anyway, so we have some US IP addresses, we have some Korean IP addresses. It's hard to say exactly what the F is going on here, and then the data PHP just throws errors. We could open that file, but this isn't learning to code 101 here. So the last thing that I really found interesting here was, what is this? If you look closely at this image, rsbot07.org. Well then. The image that it's giving here isn't even for this website. It's rsbot07.org. So let's go there. the safe botting choice. Well, this looks familiar, does it not? So is this like a ripoff of another botting website, which is version 322? This is 344. All right, we got to download this one now, don't we? All right, so I don't have to accept the terms and conditions. This one's actually stored, I think, on... Yeah. This one's actually stored on the website. It actually has an icon and doesn't come in a zip file. Still, no forums. But we actually have terms and conditions this time. Which is interesting, I suppose. By accessing this site, you are bound in terms and conditions of your virus. The materials on rsbot07.org.net. Well then, I should have gone to 07.org.net, excuse me. Apparently I'm on the wrong website. I'm frozen. Frozen! Oh my god. .org.net. Because that's where the terms and conditions say... Yeah, it's not happening. Did that install like a hijacker on me or something? Or orgnet. Okay, orgnet. That's just a random... Somebody owns org.net. I gotcha. So is there a .net as well now, I'm wondering? Just from these terms and conditions? This is the rabbit hole. The freaking rabbit hole. Why does my delete key not work? Thank you. Alright, my delete key just fucking doesn't work. Unless I highlight shit now, apparently. Someone's up with this virtual machine. Thank God this is a freaking snapshot. Alright. Not a website. Alright, let's minimize this. I'm gonna go ahead and, Ugh. My goodness. Download. So here's RSBot 07. It's 586 kilobytes. It's a little bit bigger than the other one. It's currently blocked by my security, so that's always a good sign. Oh, I lost my wallpaper. That's sad. I can fix that, though. That has nothing to do with the bot. That's because my trial of Windows has run out, and I'm not going to pay for a bunch of copies of Windows on a machine that I'm just beating the crap out of. Alright, so let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and let's just frickin' run it, I guess. Let's see what it does. I'm going to just take a wild guess and say the exact same thing that the other one did. I'm going to guess these are pretty much copies of each other here. Or they may be from the same author, I don't know. Alright, it's thinking about it. It's running in memory. And did it make a copy of itself? I don't see one. Let's sort by type here. Let's see if it made an executable copy. No. It didn't make a copy of itself. Or I could also just do open file location, I suppose. And I think, it's just... I'm going to close downloads real quick just to make sure. Open file location, please. Open file location doesn't seem to be working. So that's interesting. My system is, like, being wrecked. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just end the process then. Uh-oh. Access is denied. Process cannot be terminated. That's kind of scary. So, this process refuses to be terminated. Now, there are ways to terminate pesky processes, but I'm not overly concerned about that right now. It did not make any sort of startup for itself. So it seems to be a little more basic, except for the fact that it refuses to terminate itself. So that's interesting to know. Let's go back into the browser, though. And doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-boop-boop-boop-boop. So we've tried RSBot. We've tried Crystal Server's version of it. Now, I just think this blows my mind. Are they the same people? Are they different people? This website has a lot more hits, and it's using a different hit counter. I did not... I found this after the fact, to be honest. I didn't want to type logs. I found this after the fact. After I did the scan on the first server. And I didn't know, but as you can see here, it's a freaking carbon copy, pretty much, except for the fact that one has terms and conditions, one doesn't. They're both. Is this a bootleg virus of a virus site? Like, that's my brain just blowing out the side of my head. Like, I don't understand. I mean, like, why would you do that? Just make your freaking own. So, I mean, clearly this is the mother site, since everything here is just a copy, a bad copy at that. I mean, it looks like it's just trying to imitate, like he kind of crawled the website, took the stuff, and uploaded it to his own server. Get out of here. This one looks a little more professional. I use that term lightly. Looks a little more kind of put together and whatnot, but it's still, it's fairly basic. But at least it has kind of somewhat of a layout and whatnot. But, they both are viruses and whatnot. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to power off this machine because I don't know what that thing is doing, and I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it touching my... I am on a VPN, so, I mean, whatever data is going out is not revealing my specific IP address or anything, but I just don't want it at all, because who knows what it's doing. So, yes, we're going to lose everything here. We're just going to revert the machine back to its old state, because nobody needs that crap. So I found this one particularly interesting. The video quality was decent. I mean, they didn't show anything, and I think that's very typical of these scammers. Is they never show anything real. They tantalize you and make you think that, oh, maybe that there's something to this, when in reality there never is, and you just end up with some sort of virus. If I had a more controlled subnet, or I could let this thing run, I would let it run and kind of see what type of traffic it's doing. But I don't have that kind of set up at home right now. My hardware firewall crapped the bed like a couple of years ago, and I haven't actually gotten it replaced yet because I don't have the cash. But yeah, this is not so much worst. Like, I don't think this really qualifies as worst, but it is really interesting, and I find it interesting that it's like a bootleg of a virus bootleg, and it's just, it's weird to me. And clearly, if you looked at the virus total for this, you would think twice before running it when that many... Another thing to think about when you use virus total also is when you're using hack tools and whatnot, generally the type of virus description will say this is a hack tool. When it starts, when you see like Trojan and whatnot, that's probably not a hack tool. It's probably a Trojan. Kind of demonstrated by here. Anytime you see something like that, where the file kind of disappears like that, that's very common of a server Trojan, where it's turning your computer into a server. So client computers can connect and steal your data and all that fun stuff. So, alright, well, I've scrubbed the environment clean. All is well. We can go ahead and suspend the virtual machine and suspend this session until further notice. So this has been Worst Hackers and Scammers of All Time. I've been your host, MageBit. You can find us at magebit.tv, runeweek.com, and I hope to hear from the developer in the comments on this. Since they submitted it to me, I'd be curious to see what kind of information I get. This video is going to take, I said this was going to come out today. It's going to take a little bit longer because I do want to edit out those IP addresses, which means I'm going to have to put this through more than one video editor. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. I know this one was a little more serious than the other ones. If you have any Worst Hackers and Scammers videos that you want me to review, send them my way. Either leave a link in the description or email show@runeweek.com. I love doing these, especially the funny ones where people are like just completely just like retarded hardcore. So if you have any information on videos, just because they're getting harder to find, please let me know. I enjoy doing this. I really appreciate the author being a good sport here and letting me do this video. It's rare to see somebody letting me expose their content as a virus and basically a scam. So thank you, and as always, happy escaping.